Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am Ranjan Das, would like to share some basic understanding of organic chemistry, specific for CBSE and ICSE class 10 students. So organic meaning pertaining to life. Organic meaning pertaining to life. So initially it was thought that the organic compounds can only be produced at plants and animals. That means organic compounds can only be produced with the source of some vital force, that is life. And that's why a theory was there initially, and it was given by Berzelius in the year of 1815, that is vital force theory. So vital force theory is completely discarded in the year of 1828 when German chemist Volhard, W-O-H, Volhard, produced one organic compound urea at the lab, and he prepared urea from the inorganic compound ammonium cyanate. Ammonium cyanate NH4CNO, and if you heat it, you are getting urea, CuNH2L2. So the first organic compound prepared at the lab in the year of 1828 by German chemist Volhard, okay, from ammonium cyanate. Ammonium cyanate is an inorganic compound, but urea is an organic compound. But after that, many chemists, Kolbe, Bartholomew, Lavoisier, produced many organic compounds, and right now more than 10 lakhs of organic compounds are there in nature. And now we have to know why so many compounds. And so many compounds are there in organic compound. So organic chemistry, and here it has been found that all the compounds of carbon except carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, cyanides, carbonate and bicarbonate, all the compounds of carbon are organic compound. And carbon and hydrogen, only these two elements can form large number of compounds, and they have been classified as hydrocarbons. So hydrocarbons can be classified in two categories. One is aliphatic hydrocarbon, and another is aromatic. Okay, so today here we will mainly study aliphatic hydrocarbons because it is there in class 10 ICSE and CBSE syllabus. And in class 11 you have to study aromatic compounds and the aromatic hydrocarbons. So aliphatic hydrocarbons are generally can be like this, So aliphatic hydrocarbons can be saturated, can be unsaturated. Saturated hydrocarbons are generally having formula CnH2n plus 2. These are the saturated hydrocarbon. And the series is called alkane series. Alkane. Okay. And if you put n equals to 1, you know what you are getting? And you are getting CH4. And CH4, that is the simplest organic compound, and that is methane. And if you put n equals to 2 and 3, you will get ethane, propane, butane and so on. So all these are saturated hydrocarbons. Okay. So, and there are unsaturated hydrocarbons are there, and having general formula CnH2n and CnH2n minus 2. So the saturated hydrocarbons having general formula CnH2n plus 2, and these are actually belonging to alkane family. Okay. And we have unsaturated hydrocarbon having at least one double bond or triple bond, and those are alkene and alkyne. Okay, so the alkene and alkyne. Okay, so alkene having at least one double bond in between two carbon atoms, and the alkyne having at least one triple bond in between two carbon atoms. So the first compound of alkane series is methane, but the first compound of alkane series would be CH2 double bond CH2, and that is ethene or ethylene. and the first compound of alkyne series is, that is CH triple bond CH, that is acetylene or ethyl. So alkane is saturated hydrocarbon and alkene and alkyne are unsaturated hydrocarbon. So now we will discuss some important characteristics of carbon, because as we know the carbon is the central atom in organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is the chemistry of carbon. So carbon must have certain characteristics and for which it can form so many compounds. Okay, let's see. Carbon, you know the atomic number of carbon? Carbon is 6 and its valency 2, 4. So how many electrons are there in its valence shell? 4. So in all the compounds, carbon completing its that is, it has already 4 valence electron, so it will share all those 4 valence electron to make compounds. Okay, so carbon having tetravalency, carbon having tetravalency, and carbon is the only element which can form long chain of compounds. Okay, it can be straight chain, it can be branch chain, it can even be cyclic chain. Now, as we have already discussed, that carbon and hydrogen can form so many compounds and they are classified as hydrocarbons. So we can make a simple chart like this. So hydrocarbons, CXHY, X and Y can have any value. So hydrocarbon can be classified in 2 categories, aliphatic hydrocarbon and aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, so aromatic hydrocarbons, and here we will not study anything else regarding this, but aliphatic hydrocarbon can be saturated hydrocarbon as I have just said, and unsaturated hydrocarbon. And saturated hydrocarbons also called paraffins or alkanes having general formula CnH2n plus 2. And the unsaturated hydrocarbon and that is alkene or alkyne. Okay, alkenes generally having double bond and they are also called olefins. Okay, having general formula CnH2n. And the alkynes are having general formula CnH2n minus 2. So alkene, alkyne, these are the unsaturated hydrocarbon and these are the saturated hydrocarbon. So now we will study some important characteristics of carbon. As I have just said, carbon can form long chain compounds, it can be straight chain, it can be branch chain, it can be closed chain, and the property of self-linking, of carbon atoms to form long chain, and that is called catenation. C-A-T-E-N-A-T-I-O-N. Catenation is very important in organic chemistry. Catenation is the property for which carbon can form long chain compounds by self-linking. So as we know, the large number of our organic compounds are there. So many organic compounds can be produced, and one important reason is the presence of catenation in carbon. So can you say, is there any other element which shows catenation? Yes, there can be one element like silicon in the same group of carbon, just below carbon, you know, silicon, that shows some catenation property, but that is not so much as it is found in carbon. So carbon shows tetravalency, carbon shows catenation, and the most of the compounds carbon forming covalent compound. The electronegativity of carbon atom is such that, and the valence electron is 4, you know, and that's why it has been found the carbon compounds are generally covalent compound. Okay, carbon compounds are generally covalent compound. So carbon can make large number of family of organic compounds, and here let's see few family of organic compounds. It can be alkane family, alkene family, alkyne family, alkanol family. Alkanol family means actually alcohol. Okay, so alkanal family, that is aldehyde. Alkanoic acid, that is carboxylic acid. Okay, and the alkanone, that is ketone. So here we will study all this in short. So before that we would like to discuss homologous series. Homologous series. Before we understand homologous series, let's look at a chart. Say, as we have just studied, so CnH2n plus 2, and that is the general formula of alkane. alkane. If you put n equals to 1, you know what you are getting? You are getting CH4. If you put n equals to 2, you are getting C2H6. If you are putting n equals to 3, you are getting C3H8 and so on. So these are the compounds. Methane, it is methane. Okay, you have to remember it is methane, the simplest organic compound. It is ethane, it is propane, butane and so on. So, and if you observe these compounds, you will find they all belonging to same family, alkane family. They all belonging to same family, alkane family, and they having gap in their formula. You know, the difference is CH2 group. The difference is from one member to another. The difference is CH2 group, and that is molecular weight increases by CH2, means 12 plus 2, 14. From this compound to that, okay, you will find that is the molecular weight is increased by 14 unit. So we can say the CnH2n plus 2, and that is the alkane series, and in alkane series, and it is said to be homologous series. So homologous series means series of organic compound having same type of bonding or functional group. I will say what functional group is all about. Okay, and difference in each member, in successive member, is CH2. So that is all about homologous series. So homologous series, so for alkane you will get a homologous series, for alkene, for alkyne, for alkanol you will get homologous series. So I can take one more example. Say CnH2n plus 1 OH. So can you say what will be the compound if we put n equals to 1? N equals to 1, yes, C1 H2 into 1, 2 plus 3. So it would be CH3OH, and I hope you know that compound, and that compound is methanol or methyl alcohol. Okay, initially it was called methyl alcohol, but afterwards it was named methanol, and why so we'll discuss afterwards. Okay, and if we put n equals to 2, we are getting C2H5OH. So it is methanol and it is ethanol. And the next one, can you say what it would be? And it would be propanol and butanol. So we can say this is the series of alcohol, and this is the series of alcohol, and this is the homologous series of alcohol. And the alcohol, and IUPAC name of alcohol is alkanol, and we will discuss in naming part in details. So we got some idea about homologous series. Okay, so we got some idea about homologous series. Homologous series. So homologous series means series of organic compound having same type of bonding or same functional group, or having difference in each successive member by CH2 group. So that is all about homologous series. So now we will discuss the functional group. Functional group, very important. Functional group, FUNCTIO, functional group. Okay. So before we understand functional group, at first take one example. So I have just said that it is methanol, it is ethanol, okay, it is propanol. So they are actually alcohols. They are all alcohols. So alcohol is actually not a single compound. Alcohol is a family of organic compounds, and in this family you will find one specific group common in all the compounds, and that is OH, OH, OH. So here OH is the functional group. OH is the functional group in alcohol. And aldehyde, there is another family, and there we will see that the functional group is CHO. Okay, in aldehyde functional group is CHO. CHO. Okay, and in carboxylic acid, you know, one or two compounds in carboxylic acid, that is, you know, methanoic acid, ethanoic acid. Methanoic acid is better known as formic acid. Okay, ethanoic acid is better known as acetic acid. So having functional group COOH. So functional group means a group of atoms which actually makes the characteristics of a compound. So it can be different type of functional group. So OH is the functional group of alcohol, CHO is the functional group of aldehyde, COOH is the functional group of carboxylic acid. So they are all forming a family of organic compounds. So hopefully you got some idea about functional group. So after having homologous series and functional group, the next article here we would like to discuss, and that is isomerism. Isomerism. Isomerism, okay. Have you heard about isomerism? Isomerism is the very important characteristics property of organic compound. So before we start isomerism, I must have to say the some common differences between organic and inorganic compounds. Okay. So organic compounds are generally covalent in nature, whereas in inorganic compounds are mostly electrovalent or ionic. Organic compounds are not generally soluble in water, but inorganic compounds are soluble in water. Organic compound having low melting and boiling point, inorganic compound melting and boiling point is found to be more. Organic compound organic compound shows isomerism, but inorganic compound are not generally forming isomerism, but few exception is there. Okay, so there are some common differences are there and you must go through. Okay, so now our subject of discussion is isomerism. So what isomerism is all about? So we can understand taking a one simple example. Say C2H6O. With that formula we can have at least two compounds, and these are C2H5OH, and you know it is ethanol or ethyl alcohol, and one more, and that is CH3OCH3, and it is called dimethyl ether. So it is ethanol or ethyl alcohol, and it is dimethyl ether. Okay, so ethanol is belonging to alcohol family and dimethyl ether belonging to ether family. Okay, so whenever we are getting more than one compounds from the same molecular formula, okay, so their property is called isomerism. So isomerism can be defined as the property or phenomenon for which we can have more than one compounds from the same molecular formula. Okay, so there, and the compounds are said to be isomers to each other. They are isomers to each other. So isomerism can be of different kinds, and in our class 10 we have to study two types of isomerism. Okay, and here in the last example, and you have seen C2H5OH and CH3OCH3, and they are isomers to each other. They are isomers to each other, and they having difference in functional group, and that is said to be functional group isomerism. Functional group isomerism. Okay, functional group isomerism means the functional group differs. Okay, and now take one more example, C5H12. Okay, C5H12. With that formula, can you say how many compounds can be prepared? So I am writing here, just look at CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. So that is the first one. Number 2, CH3, CH3, CH2, CH3. And one more I can write here, and that is C. So from C5H12 we are getting three compounds, and that is called N-pentane. Pent means 5 actually, okay. N-pentane, and it is isopentane. It is said to be neopentane. It is said to be N-pentane. It is isopentane, and it is neopentane. Okay. So C5H12, from the same molecular formula we are getting three different compounds, and they are having a same functional group, that is they are all alkane. They are all alkane. So the difference lies in their nature of chaining, and that's why they are said to be chain isomers. Okay, so here we have studied functional group isomerism, and here that is a chain isomerism. Okay, so there are many more different kinds of isomerism, and you will learn in the next class. Okay, so we got the valency of carbon. The carbon valency is 4. Okay, and can you say what would be the structure of the simplest alkane? The simplest structure, the methane. Initially it was thought that the methane having structure like this, making a bond angle 90 degree. Okay, but that theory is completely discarded by the scientists Van 't Hoff and Labelle. Okay, Van 't Hoff or Labelle, they said that the structure of methane is like this. So it is the tetrahedral shape, and here carbon is at the center, and all the bond angles are 109 degree 28 minutes, and at the terminal position of a tetrahedral here 4 hydrogens are there. So the methane, that is the structure of methane. Okay, and whenever two tetrahedral shape joins, and we are getting ethane. Okay, so in methane and that like of structure, ethane, you know ethane. So that is ethane and ethane. Okay, and methane, ethane, and these saturated hydrocarbons having bond angle 109 degree 28 minutes. Okay, 109 degree 28 minutes, and you have to remember the bond length, and carbon-carbon single bond length generally having 154 pm. Okay, you know pm, 1 pm means 1 picometer. 1 picometer means 10 to the power minus 12 meter. Okay, so you know the bond lengths are so small, and that's why their length is measured in smaller unit like picometer, nanometer, like this. So I can say another compound in here, C double bond C, you know, and what the compound is, and that is ethene or ethylene, and you know here the bond angle 120 degree. Okay, remember the bond angle is 120 degree in alkene, and the bond length is found to be almost 134 pm. Okay, 134 pm. And in alkyne, so carbon-carbon triple bond is there, you know, and here bond length is 180 degree, and the bond angle 180 degree, and bond length is almost 120 pm. So that is the basic structure of alkane, methane, ethane, ethene, and or ethylene.